Hello guys, so today is an AutoCAD day, no more Houdini. So I've been busy with work, that's why I cannot play around with Houdini and make tutorials, but today I'm going to be talking about hatches and some problem with the hatches and how to get around it, and why sometimes when you update a line, hatch updates with it, but sometimes it doesn't, and that's called associative. For example, I have these two hatches that look exactly the same, but they are actually very different. As you can see, if I select this rectangle and move it, the hatches can update with it, but it's not the same for this one. And you can see it's the same hash type, the same scale, the same boundary, they look exactly the same, but this one has been through some operations that breaks uh, the associative command that's right there, and I can make this one not have the association relationship anymore, and now if I update the rectangle, it's not gonna update with it. But hatches are very handy once they're associative, but it gets frustrating when sometimes you need it to be associative and it's not, and when you don't want it, then you see it, and then you remember that hatches have this cool feature and all that kind of stuff. I want to explain what makes a hatch not associative and what breaks the bond between a box and a hatch. That's no longer, you can't really go back to it, but there's a way around it. So, for example, I have this hatch where every time I update the line, it's gonna update with it, but uh, if I have a line and then I decide to trim the hatch and the rectangle, so I'm basically left with this shape that's almost the same with the previous one, but it's not working as it was before. So if I change this line, it's not gonna update with it because there's a gap there. Uh, but if I change the bottom one, sorry, if I change the bottom one, it should update with it because uh, these 2 points and this line in between stayed pretty much the same as before, but this one is no longer connected and there's a gap all of a sudden and the hash doesn't know what to do. So it's still associative, but it's not fully associative because I changed some stuff about my hatch. So I wonder what happens if I add a vertex here. Yeah, it still doesn't work. But there's a way you can, or there's another way that the hatch is gonna break the bond with its boundary, which is moving them separately. For example, I decide to change the boundary by 2 unit. Oh, sorry. No, I mean, if I decide to move the hatch by 2 unit, and then I move it back to where it was by 2 unit again, and now it's not gonna update with it because the hatch lost its boundary. Uh, but if you select the hatch and there's a recreate tab up here, and then you choose uh, a region. Now you have a boundary around your hatch where if you move it around, it's gonna update with it, but it's no longer the same way as it was before. Yeah, the quickest way I can make a hatch associative with the uh, polyline it was associated with is I move the hatch to the side, then I select it, and AD is a command for add selected. Now if I select my polyline and I delete the old one, now this is fully associative, and it's not the best way, but it works, and it's uh, when once you get used to it, that you're gonna be doing it in a very short amount of time. And you might be wondering why I have this down here. I'm working on this file where I have all the main hatches I need. So because the process of going into hatch mode and then trying to find what hatch you are looking for in a very, very long list is frustrating, and it's not fun because the thumbnail is small and all that kind of stuff. But these have the correct scale. They're all different in scale, and I can see them in a much better representation with the names. So if I type this name in the command center, for example, uh, Finetta, you see my hatch appears here. It's not going to work well in the viewport, only in the command line, and then I can quickly apply it to my models, or I can just do the AD command, which is add selected, and then select wherever I want my. Uh, just imagine I have a polyline here, and I want to hatch it with this. I can quickly select it, AD space, click space, and done. Yeah, very quickly. Uh, so yeah, I'm working on this file, but I'm not done yet. As you can see, it's all just not even halfway through. Also, something else I forgot to mention is, so as you can see, this hatch is no longer in bound with this polyline. I can select the hatch, go to recreate, polyline, and now I have a boundary around the hatch where if I update the boundary, it's gonna update my hatch with it as well, which is really nice. You can quickly, for example, if I have I'm just gonna draw a line, a wall quickly. So imagine I have this wall scenario, and I want to hatch it with this type, which is very, very uncommon. uh, and for whatever reason, I don't have the hatch associated with my wall anymore, and I want to I'm just gonna delete my lines real quick. You can delete your lines real quick and go to recreate, polyline, sorry, and now I have my polyline, which is even better. Earlier I had lines, and polyline is much easier to select, much easier to work with, and now if I change anything about my polyline, the hatch is gonna update with it. Now I'm just gonna stretch my walls around, and the hatch very, very quickly updates with it as well, which is just awesome. Just look at it. The hatch quickly uh, find its way around it, but as soon as you insert a tiny, tiny door, it's not gonna be the same anymore, which sucks. But yeah, I mean, you can always recreate the polyline, delete the previous one. I wish they fixed these issues. Maybe there's another way around it, but that's where my knowledge ends, basically. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much. I'm sorry that uh, maybe I wasn't talking uh, as well as I intended to, but yeah, I tried my best. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Take care. Happy AutoCAD. There's 2023 just launched a couple days ago. I mean, who cares? Nobody watched my channel, but the new logo is ugly. I wouldn't like. I don't want to upgrade to 2023. It's so bad. Thank you very much for watching. Again, this is like the third time. Bye bye.